Hi, what's your name?
Oliver Anderson.
All right. What animation or like film did you make?
I made a music video called Death Comes to My Side. It's a stop motion animation video. It is for Tony Award-winning Grammy nominee Lena Hall.
Wow. Can you tell me like what inspired you to make this?
Sure. Lena and I talked a little bit about what she wanted to do, and we went over a story and idea for how to do it. And then she basically let me go from there and execute what I do best. So I created the characters and made the film. Unfortunately, my dad passed away during the filming of it. Shortly after, Lena's dad passed away afterwards as well. But still ended up finishing the film, and just grateful for all the opportunities we got and just to be here for AmDocs. It's fantastic.
I'm glad to have you here. I'm really sorry to hear about all of that and how long it took. But can you answer this question for me? How long did it take you to make the whole like everything about it?
Yeah, so from story concept to final execution, it was 9 months.
9 whole months?
Yeah. The shooting doesn't take as long. It's the story and the characters and figuring out how to build things, because it's all practical effects.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy to have you here at AmDocs. And,
Thank you.
Very pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. It's great to meet you too. I'm stoked to be here.
Who am I here with?
Hello, I'm Lorenzo. I'm from Italy. I'm a filmmaker.
Oh, wow. Nice to meet you here at AmDocs. Thank you for coming. Can you tell me a little bit more like your work and what you did?
So I'm a freelance video maker, filmmaker, and director. And I started do it professionally almost 6 or 7 years ago. And I'm here because I did a film with Corey, that's an American guy, and that had a big project, and he involved me last year. We went to Europe, and the project was about the Via Francigena. The Via Francigena is the film title, and it's a pilgrimage. It's an ancient pilgrimage from London to Rome. It's 1,500 miles, 30 days, and he did it with his 2 kids with bike. And I followed him together with Rob, that's another cameraman and director as well. And we recorded all the Via, all the trip together, and we did this documentary about cycling, about pilgrimage, about history, about religion, and about the relationship between a father and 2 adolescents.
Do you mind telling me like how long it took you to like do all of this?
So it took us 1 month, literally, of traveling and follow them from London to Canterbury. A couple of days in Tennessee where everything started and where they prepared themselves, they trained, and they packed everything ready for Europe. And then, of course, all the editing process that took us at least a couple of months.
Is there any like difficulties you had like while like trying to do everything together? I know it's like a bunch of stuff you guys were doing. Like any difficulties at all?
Yeah, a lot of difficulties. We have a lot of footage, and of course the difficult was to try to get an order that was not only chronological, but that follows a sort of story, and can, of course, create a message, because I think film and documentaries need to tell something to people who will watch it. And because it's a documentary, we recorded a lot of interviews, a lot of speeches, a lot of voiceovers, and the goal was to stitch everything and create like a great story to tell.
All right. Well, thank you for coming to AmDocs. Thank you for traveling all the way over here. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to me.
Who am I here with?
Hi, my name is Jessica Risk. I'm the director and animator of the film Cracked, showing on Friday night.
I'm Soren Anderson. I did the original score and the sound design for Cracked.
My pleasure to meet you as always.
Great to meet you.
Can you tell me a little bit like more about yourselves? Like like what bring you guys together like to make this films or any films you guys have?
Yeah, sure. So we're actually married. We've been together for 11 years now, and I Cracked was part of my graduating film from my animation program with the Rhode Island School of Design, and it took 2 years to create. It's only 5 minutes long, but it's 7,000 frames of hand-drawn animation. So it's done in 2D. And yeah, it was a passion project of mine. And then Soren, he's a musician, and so he did the original score and sound design for it. And that process kind of came in the very end, and it took about, I think, like 2-3 weeks at that point. So yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me like any challenges you guys had like while making this? I know you said you made like a bunch of like frames doing it. It was like, was that like the most challenging part of it, or like?
Yeah, there are challenges. I mean, animation in general is a very long process that requires, I think, a lot of problem solving to begin with, because you're kind of piecing it together. There were a lot of different kinds of techniques and approaching different scenes. I think one of my biggest challenges was doing pans that were three-dimensional in a 2D technique. And so if you're moving kind of a shot from one area to another, sorry, I'm going to get technical because animation is a very technical thing, but when you're moving kind of the shot across a room, you're changing the perspective as you go, and so navigating that while you're drawing it is quite difficult and taught me, I think, a lot as an animator.
Can you tell me like what inspired you to like make this at all?
Yeah, so it actually started with two images that I really liked. One was 2 eggs covering a woman's behind, and so it's kind of like them blending into her body, and then them cracked open, sunny side up on a plate, and her naked, so it's kind of like reflecting her breasts. And I started that as an oil painting, a 2-part like series of an oil painting. And I really liked those images, and I kind of brought them into an animation project while I was doing my program. And so I was like, okay, well, what story is a story about a woman blending into her background and blurring the lines between herself and her surroundings. And so it started to become a story about depression and dissociation, and when you stop to feel like yourself and your routine becomes you. And so that's kind of the psychological space that the film inhabited, and I just took it from there.
Wow. I know you said you did sound.
Yes.
Can you tell me like your most challenging part about it?
Certainly. Yeah, I think because it's a short film, 5 minutes total runtime, not all of that has real musical elements. There's sound throughout, but condensing an interesting music idea into such a small package can be quite challenging, because I tend to be pretty verbose.
So yeah, I mean, in general, telling a full story in 5 minutes is a big challenge. Yeah.
I believe it. All right, well, thank you for coming to AmDocs.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're so excited to be here. Thanks for interviewing us. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Here you go. Thank you.
Hi, who am I here with?
Excuse me?
Who am I here with?
I'm Anna Economou. I'm from Greece, and you are?
Mrs. Vasquez. Nice to meet you. Do you mind telling me a little about more like your work, your film?
Yes, my film is called Cabaret, and it's a short animated film about a girl's relationship with her eating disorder, all told through animated dance choreography.
Can you tell me like what inspired you to make that film?
My own experience pretty much with eating disorders, and the fact that it's so difficult where I come from. I come from Greece, and it's so difficult there to actually find the resources. It's still very taboo and all of that, and a lot of people don't really know about it so that they can help themselves. So this is what inspired the whole thing pretty much.
Can you tell me like the most like challenging part while making like the film?
The most challenging part, okay, I think it was probably like doing the script, because it had to be in a way that it was, that the message would come across, but also I didn't want it to be very graphic, if that makes sense. Like I didn't want there to be images of food or like harsh pictures or anything. I wanted it to be more abstract, which is why I chose to do it with dancing and all of that.
Can Can you also tell me like how long it took you to like make the film?
Oh, I think the whole process was about a year and a half, like a semester of pre-development, and then the whole animating process took about a year.
Did you work with anyone? Or did you just like do it all yourself?
It was a graduation film, so I had to do most of it myself, but I did have a team behind it, thankfully, because otherwise it wouldn't have been made in a year. I had two of my very good friends help with the animation, and another two great friends do the score and the sound design, and I also had my best friend dance the piece and choreograph with me, so it was such a fun bonding experience.
Well, thank you for coming to AmDocs. Thank you for coming like visit here.
Thank you.
I hope you have an amazing time.
Yeah, me too. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Who am I here with?
So I'm Jake Bradbury. I'm the producer of Ali's story.
And I'm Geneva Garcia, and I'm the editor of Ali's story.
All right, nice to meet you. I'm Jesus Vasquez.
Nice to meet you.
Can you tell me a little more about like your film, what you did?
Yeah, absolutely. So as a producer of the film, we went to New York and we shot a documentary there. It was about DJ Ali and his 5 favorite albums and how they affected his life in 5 different areas of his life. And so obviously being there, we discovered a bigger story about the Cabaret law, which outlawed dancing in New York, if you can imagine that.
Yeah. Now, and my role was more on the post-production side at the end, working with the director, Benito, on just, taking what was shot in New York and piecing it together to be the cohesive story it is now.
Can you tell me like what inspired you guys to make that film?
Sure. Well, it was all credit to Ben. I mean, Ben Sinclair is the director of this film. Unfortunately, he can't be here, but we're here in his stead. And he started talking to Ali, and he got this incredible artist residency in New York. And the whole thing was to make a documentary within the time you had. So he started talking to Ali. Ali was such an interesting character that we had to follow him around for 2 weeks of his life doing everything we did. And through him, we met the mayor of nightlife in New York, and we met all of this cast of characters who started telling this story.
Yeah. And I mean, I was brought in more towards the end, but like just hearing about Ali's story and like getting to experience the vulnerability of his story is what really inspired me to like, from the post side, do his story the most justice as possible.
We're showing it on March 27th at 2:30 in Theater 3.
Do you guys like mind telling me like what's the most like biggest struggle you guys had? I know you came in at the end, but like.
Sure, I'll tell you a nightmare story. I'll tell you. We were about to get the biggest venue of the entire shoot. It was the 50th anniversary of hip hop. And we got into this giant club with Erykah Badu and like everybody, and DJ Ali was spinning. And we get out of the car, and if you know New York or East Coast, it gets real humid. All of our lenses fogged up. You can't shoot with a fogged lens. So we're sitting there like trying to think of what to do. Like Robin was like, no, it's on the inside. And like, what are we gonna do? We're walking toward the venue. And as soon as we get in, it cleared. Woo! Barely. What about you?
Yeah, no, on my side, it was like seeing the footage that we had and seeing bits of like realizing like, oh, there's these whole sections of our main character's life where there is no B-roll, like none whatsoever. So like figuring out how are we going to portray this when we have like nothing. So it was just like figuring out bringing in a dancer to like emotionally like encapsulate some of those moments and like digging through archival along with our assistant editor and just like scavenging for this stuff because it was a lot of like pulling your hair out being like, what are we gonna do?
Well, on that part, what is like your like most favorite part of it? You know, like the most like when you had fun. What's your guys' part of that?
Watching it with an audience is the most fun that we could ever have. Honestly, like you get to see people's reactions to it and the people coming up to you afterwards and being like, that was really good. I had no idea about the Cabaret law, or I had no idea about, this guy's story and how much it touched me. One of the best serendipity moments was when the dancer that we got to sort of emote what she was talking about. He had such a similar story to Ali, and he had no idea until he saw it. And he stood up and he started crying, and he was just like, man, his life mirrors mine almost exactly. And it was just a really touching moment.
For me, aside from that, it's whenever we like problem solved something and I like figured out the pacing and it just felt buttery smooth. It's just that delicious feeling of like, yes, I figured it out. That's editing. That's one of my favorite things.
All right. Well, thank you for coming to AmDocs. I'm happy to see you. Hope you guys enjoy it and everything.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. Who am I here with?
Hi, I'm Joao. Should I look at the camera? Should I look at you? Or should I look at the palm trees? Where would you like me to look?
Anywhere you want. Look
Okay.
at the camera.
Sounds good. My name is Joeroga, and I have a film called Shepherd Boy.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mrs. Vassal, your viewer, of course.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure.
Can you tell me a little more about your film and, like what inspired you?
Sure. My film follows the journey of a dog living in the outskirts of a city of Doha in Qatar. I'm coming from Qatar, and so I followed dogs living in the outskirts of the city.
What inspired you to make that?
Because Doha has lots of stray animals, and I thought it would be important to record one of those lives for us to make change and create an impact around what it means to be a being like a dog and trying to survive in the streets of Qatar.
What do you think is like the hardest part about it? Was it like following the dogs or?
Yes, following a dog is very, very difficult, right? It's verite, and if you follow human beings, already difficult, right? Imagine, but a dog, it's impossible to tell him, hey, say that again, or hey, go left, go right. And if you frame the dog, suddenly you have the perfect shot, but then he's not doing anything, right? So it's a little bit difficult to make a film with live animals.
Can you tell me like what was your most favorite part about making this film?
The dog.
You love the dog?
Being with him, yeah, being with the dog was my favorite part. Time just flew by.
Can you tell me more about the dog? Like, is he with you now or like?
Well, I cannot spoil the film, right? But I can tell you that the dog is in a very happy place right now.
Okay, well,
We should watch the film
I will.
tomorrow, 4 p.m.
I will be here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming to AmDocs. I hope you enjoy.
I'm
around
loving
here.
it. It's my first time in Palm Springs. The weather is amazing. Everyone in the festival has been super kind. I'm so happy to be here. I wish my dog was here. I wish Shepherd Boy was here, but the flight from Doha is a little bit too far. But maybe next time.
Of course. Pleasure to meet you.
It was a pleasure.
Pleasure,
Well
of course.
done. You're
Thank
very
you.
good.